Dustin Johnson is plus 950, and Bryson and Jordan Spieth are tied at plus 1150. Those are your top three golfers here, guys, in terms of odds to win the Masters. Reid, what makes them the right trio? Or maybe it's not.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, the course history is a big thing here, right? It's something that you have to weigh when you're looking at course form. And when you talk about these guys, I mean, they are the best, right? And we saw what Jordan Spieth did last week. And Jon Rahm, right? When we talk about, or excuse me, Dustin Johnson, he's a guy that clearly, what he gained, 19 strokes tee to green, or total strokes, I think, Geoff, last year in November. So when you take a look at that, and the course is going to play different. You just look at how these guys play their game, how they make it around Augusta National. It just sets up perfectly for that style of players who play well on these longer classical American style courses. And that's DJ, and that's a guy like Jordan Spieth. So you're going to see these guys talked about quite a bit, but yeah, they're just in a class of their own.
Geoff, you agree these three are in a class of their own this week?
I mean, look, we really should be talking about the top five, because, you know, Jon Rahm, Justin Thomas, plus 1250 right now in the DraftKings Sportsbook. They're not far behind. And realistically, I feel like, you know, these top five should probably all be around the same price. Reid talks about course history, and I think we need to take course history, but also recent form. Dustin's recent form really hasn't been that great. This is a completely different course than we saw in November. You've got Bryson coming in with wins, almost winning at the Players. Spieth just out from the ashes, rising like the Phoenix. Justin Thomas just won the Players. Jon Rahm top 10s every week. There's not much between these guys. I think that, like, realistically, we're talking about small differentiations, but, you know, the better value is probably lying with Rahm and Thomas just because they're a little bit bigger in price. I think all these guys should be around the same, plus 1,200, plus 1,100. Yeah. So I'm looking at this big group as a whole. Now, you know, who I like the best is a different story, but I think all five of these guys, you know, deserve kind of similar odds this week.
And DeChambeau has cracked the top 30 at Augusta just once in 3 tries as a professional. So we can go to Rory McIlroy, though, now, guys. Plus 1,900. Geoff, is that too high or too low, his odds?
Yeah, so, I mean, Rory obviously does bring the course history. He's cracked the top 10 here numerous times, but nowhere near the same kind of recent form as Bryson. Bryson coming in with a major from last fall and a win and a near win at the Players. So, again, this is where it really starts to get different, right? Like, Rory doesn't have the win to fall back on. Sure, he's got some course history. I think Rory's odds are probably right where he should be. You know, I wouldn't say that they're too long, that's for sure, but I don't know if they're too short either. I mean, I think that it's hard for me to put Rory McIlroy bigger in odds than a guy like Patrick Cantlay or Xander Schauffele, guys who just haven't really got it done over the hump in a major yet. Rory still has that major experience. He still dominates Augusta's par 5. So I think Rory's probably right where he should be. He does not deserve to be up that big group of 5, like I said, but he probably should be the leader of the next group.
Reid, you believe he's right around where he should be, his odds? We're talking about a guy who missed the cut in 2 of his last 5 events, and then he had that opening around 79 at the Players.
Yeah, so Goldilocks, he should be just right. But here's an argument on why it's too high, in my opinion. This is kind of the argument for buying the dip on Rory. Like, he's at close to plus 2,000, right? When was the last time we saw Rory at that mark? And yes, this rhetoric has been discussed over and over and over again, is when is he going to hit? When is he going to come back? This would be the tournament, right? These tournaments that Rory has done well, when these guys are playing bad, like Rory has been, because his expectations, or our expectations, are so high of him. We look at, okay, where can he get back into form? And it's these longer courses that he can really step on his driver and, like Geoff mentioned, step on those par 5s, which is what you really need to do here to score. Look at the 3 of his last 4 Augusta appearances. What is it? A 7th in 2017, 2 top 5s in 18 and 20, and a 21st in 2019, right? This is kind of what we were talking about in November's edition, that he wasn't coming into the tournament in form. And then what does he do? He top 5s. So I get it. I get that he's not there, but at plus 1,900, if this guy wins or just gets close to winning, you're not going to see this number for the next 6 months.
Reid, how do you feel then about COLLIN Morikawa? Plus 3,150, his odds. Too long, too short?
I mean, he's a major winner and he won a WGC. Yeah. So I can't, like, they're not too long. But I think, right, like COLLIN Morikawa, I don't think he necessarily sets up extremely well here. I think his game is a little bit more towards, like, I see him honestly winning like a US Open, just because of how good his when he gets that driver going, which it's a beautiful thing. his ball striking. Like he can win like a longer style course. It's just the putting, right? The putting really ails him. And I'm worried about that just a little bit here, right? That the putting can get away from him at this number. And you start to take a look at other guys around him, right? You start comparing him to the other guys in this range, and Daniel Berger is someone that I like. Paul Casey is there a little bit below him. There's value a little bit more. And Collin Morikawa is always going to be someone that we talk about because of his resume in just such a short form or a short time is that, man, this number seems a little long, but I'm going to say it's a little bit too short just because I'd rather play guys around him that are a little bit below.
Yeah, Geoff finished T44 in his Masters debut 3 months after winning the PGA Championship last year.
Look, Collin Morikawa is just like a stone cold killer. I mean, we know this by now. I mean, just coming in, winning these massive events. I mean, he's got 4 wins already. Like, is the dude even 24 yet? I mean, he's beating elite fields, right? So it feels like whenever you can get Collin Morikawa at a major at plus 3,000 or better, you should probably just bet him because that's how good he is at closing these events. Now, that said, I pretty much agree with Reid. I don't really know if I want to trust Collin Morikawa not to like throw in like 5 3-putts this week. I think Daniel Berger is the better target in this range at plus 3,500. I think the odds on Morikawa are again, it's kind of just like Rory, like right where they should be. I don't even think he's that bad a bet, but I just prefer someone else in this range. I probably even prefer Paul Casey, as sick as that sounds. So for me, I like Morikawa. Like I said, it's not really a bad bet. It's just, you look at this range, I think Daniel Berger deserves a little bit more respect. I think he's a little bit more inflated, and I'd rather target him.
Yeah, and Berger's making his first Masters appearance since 2018, guys. Let's go last year's runner-up, Cam Smith, plus 3,500. Too long or too short, those odds, Geoff?
Yeah, he's way too short for me. I love Cam Smith. He's got a wicked short game. Just a good creative all-around player. But look, we're getting inflated odds based on November. This course is not going to play the same as November. You had one of the softest Augustas in history. The members all know that. The members do not want to see 20 under par winning scores. This is going to be completely different. Look, and I've already made this argument in a couple of my articles today, but like, what is the difference between Cam Smith and just going down the odds? Abe Answer, Siwoo Kim, like guys with actual wins as well. Harris English. You're telling me Harris English should be 4 times the odds at Cam Smith? Give me a break. No, I mean, I love Cam Smith, but these odds on him, he's up there with like Webb Simpson, Sung J M. He's just in a different, he's just not quite there yet. Hard pass.
Well, sweet tea, maybe some of that has to do with 2 top 5 finishes in his last 3 appearances at Augusta National.
Well, even more egregious, he's twice as short as Louis Oosthuizen. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. Disrespectful. And the same as Anthony Finau. Get out of here.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, Tony, like we talked about, Tony's actually a decent play, maybe more on DraftKings. But yeah, Geoff mentioned it, right? Like, he's so much of now the odds are baked in with course history. And I would argue that if you look at past leaderboards, right, it's a pretty good correlation of who you think is going to do well here. Sure, you get your Cam Champs, your Cam Smiths, your Sanjays that come into the top 10, top 15, that perform that we don't think that their expectation is as high, and then they over exceed. But yeah, I take a look at, and so many other names. If I'm going to throw a name out there, right, in this range, I'd rather it be a little bit more of a mixture, like a Webb Simpson. Like Webb Simpson in his, past Masters appearances has been pretty stellar. He hasn't been great currently, but we know what Webb Simpson does over a long period of time and his history here at Augusta. So he's at 3,500. I like him more than Cam Smith.
Let's go with favorite long shot, though, Reid. Who do you like?
There's a lot. There's a lot here, Emerson. My favorite, honestly, is Justin Rose. I know Jeffrey Ulrich does not like that pick, but he, he's 6'2", but he's telling everyone he's 5'7" and 3/4. So I don't know if you want to believe a liar. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, look, I mean, again, this is more towards course history. He's not been playing well, so I'm not going to tell you that he's been playing well. And there's some things in the works that he's been doing, but clearly he withdrew from the Players, and I believe from API with a back injury. So you have to take that into consideration. But maybe this is more of a DraftKings play. I do like Justin Rose. He's over, plus 10,000. But another one really who was supposed to be in November's edition, but because he contracted COVID, wasn't. I think Joaquin Niemann is someone that you got to keep your eye on. A stroke stand off the tee is a huge correlation to success here, and he's one of the best right now. He's one of the best bent green or bent grass green putters. So he's another long shot that I'm taking a look at.
And Rose, that playoff loss to Sergio in the 2017 Masters. That was the toughest defeat of his career. And he's been so open about how bad he wants to win this tournament.
Like
I don't hate that call. Why don't you like Justin Rose, Jeff? Yeah. Why don't you like Reid's pick?
Like, the guy looked like he forgot to play golf at the WGC or whatever it was, or the Bay Hill. So, shot a 9, walked off the course. There's injury issues. I guess you can back a veteran. Look, you're getting him at triple digits. So, and it is Augusta. We do get course form in there, but Justin Rose has looked bad. Why not take a guy who's actually looked good, who's 25 years old? He already has 3 wins on tour. He's quadruple the odds of Cam Smith. Might even be more than that because I can't do math. Siwoo Kim at plus 1,500, plus 15,000, excuse me. All this dude does is like win big events. This is going to be his 5th time playing the Masters. He's made the cut here in each of his last 3 events. He's 9th in strokes gain approach coming in, 16th strokes gain tee to green. He was 9th at the Players and gained 8.1 strokes on approach there. Nobody wants to talk about Siwoo Kim for some reason. It's like they don't think he can actually win a major. This guy's available at massive odds. If you're asking me who has the best chance over plus 10,000 to actually perhaps win this event, it's Siwoo. We've seen him do it. He's won the Players. I think these are incredible odds for guys that had a really nice start to the season. He's my favorite long shot by far.
Hold on a second. He's missed the cut in 10 of his 16 major starts. Ooh.
And he's made the cut here the last 3 times, Emerson.
Okay.
Come on, Emerson. No, he's great. Like, he's
changed.
Dude, something is up. Something is up with you. Julian has you've been talking to Julian way too much.
Well, I will be talking to him next. None of you mentioned Sandy Lyle. He's plus 500,000. You can put $10 on him. If he wins, you win 50K, bro.
I'm really more of an Ian Woosnam guy. Sorry.
All right.
Give me Freddie. Give me the smooth swinging Freddie. That's what I want.
Oh, hell yeah.